Morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundok Day. Today, I'm filling in for Reverend Santosh, who's in Nepal, and so I'll be offering today's message on this Tuesday, the 13th of January 2026, or the 25th of November in the 13th year of Chongal Group. So thank you all for coming, and let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, Chanji Champuninge Chambe Haru. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English.
가전맨세 1. 전국 주인 우리 가족은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이사인 지산천국과 전산천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 1. Our family, the owner of Chongu, pledges to seek our original homeland and build the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven, the original ideal of creation, by centering on true love.
Thank you. And I'll just share Father's prayer again. O Heavenly Parent of creation, your beauty has been revealed in all of creation, and all of the external forms with which you have touched are overflowing with the beauty of your profundity and manifestation. Please allow us to be able to experience and feel keenly through our minds and bodies your broken heart, which even today is seeking without rest the beauty of humankind, which is the purpose of creation. And please allow us to be able to relate to your love with beauty. Please allow our minds to appear like the original minds of the time when you created us. And please allow our bodies to reveal beauty like the bodies just after creation when they were not stained by sin. Please allow us to stand with minds and bodies of the original nature, completely free of any defects, which can represent your love and heart. And if you, our God, move, we move too. And if you, our God, are at rest, we are at rest too. We have come to understand that this is one of the standards you have had as you worked hard going through the history of the providence of restoration until now. Since what we must find now are our own minds, and what we must complete are our own bodies, please let us find them and complete them. Then please establish us as beings who are able to bow down, representing the original beauty of our Heavenly Parent. Please allow us to be able to offer songs of gratitude and glory to you, Heavenly Parent. And we earnestly hope and desire that you will allow us to be able to feel deep in our bones and flesh that this is the purpose of our Heavenly Parent who has worked so hard. Because we have inherited the blood lineage of the fall, without our realizing it, we have left heaven and lived lives putting importance on ourselves, and we have left behind heavenly morality and acted centered on ourselves. Therefore, contrary to that, please allow us to be led by the call of our original mind, which is able to relate to heavenly morality. And please allow us to find our original selves, which heaven prefers, by our original minds motivating our bodies. And we earnestly hope and desire that you will establish us as children who are able to resolve the limitations of the myriads of people, resolve the limitations of heaven and earth, bow down before you humbly and receive your love. We have prayed in the name of the Lord, Arju. And before I share, I'd like to ask to listen to this praise song. Please.
We are direct children of true parents. Even we fall, we will rise again. Heavenly Japan will rise for a true mother. become beautiful children of heaven, true parents. True parents who have been waiting for us and who have always given us love. For our true parents, we will go endlessly. We will become one with true mother. Heaven, Japan will make absolute victory.
차려 현내 바로
Thank you. Right. To continue. Right. So, good morning, everyone, again. I'd like to share some words that Father gave. This, as you can see in the title, Father's Life, in his own words, endurance and forgiveness. This is what our true Father gave on September 7th, 2021. So I'd like to go through these. Right. So this portion of True Father's life story opens with him speaking about his experience beginning 3 months, October 1944, when he was incarcerated in a Gyeonggi provincial jail. Gyeonggi province surrounds the city of Seoul and straddles the modern-day division between North and South Korea. So there's a photo there. The Tokyo that Father left behind. So in July 1944, the New York Times reported that Japanese militarists have named General Abe Nobuyoki, one of their strongest men, as Governor General of restless Korea. So Father says, I was routinely in and out of jail, even when I was a student. I maintained courage in the face of torture under the Japanese. I am a man with much experience in that area. Their torture methods were very harsh. If young people these days were caught and tortured the way it was being done at that time, they wouldn't be able to control their bowels and would confess to having done things they had not. While Korea was under Japan, I spent time in prison. I suffered lashings and water torture from Japanese detectives from the upper division of the special branch. I went through all manners of treatment. I was whipped until my entire body was black and blue, and I bled enough to fill several bowls. I was kicked in the belly by soldiers with their boots on. 2 people held my arms while 2 others people stamped on my stomach. What happens to the skin of the belly when you are tortured like that? Does it tear? Does it burst? After such an experience, go and sit on the toilet, then try to stand up. It was so painful. I worked hard to rid Korea of the Japanese emperor, and for that I was tortured in prison. Try that and see what it is like. They hit me here with wooden sticks at that time. My father was pointing to his stomach. They wore leather shoes in the army. It was with their hobnail boots that they stamped on me. People who haven't experienced this will never know what it is like. No matter what was inflicted on me, even when I was given electric shocks, I did not speak. I would fight it, thinking, hit me, see which is bigger, your club or my determination. Throughout the day, I was beaten with clubs. I thought, let's see how I do, and endured the situation. Even when I was throwing up blood and bleeding from all 10 fingers, I was praying. How glorious it would be if my blood could represent the blood from 10 nations and be given as a sacrificial offering in place of the blood of 10 peoples. I went through torture for nearly 12 hours until I was vomiting blood. There was a torture that drove a person insane in 15 minutes. I can never forget it. Though I was tortured in that way for 12 hours, I miraculously survived. Once I was questioned for 14 hours, going through torture so harsh that when it was over, I couldn't crawl more than 20 feet. I was resuscitated several times from near death, though this process was repeated again and again. I didn't open my mouth. The sounds of my screams from bodily torture in prison was the sound of someone searching for the highest place where God's will could be realized. Unless you have been to the summit of screaming, you cannot complain. A place where I could speak with God about fundamental things. I called Father and prayed, God, my blood is different from that of people of the past. I'm not the kind of man who vomits blood, collapses and dies while complaining to you with a heart of betrayal. Please don't sympathize with me. Rather, sympathize with this nation and with all humanity. Please open a way with me in the lead for all people to survive. This was my way of life. Go ahead and beat me. Is your love for Japan greater than my love for Korea? In this way, I put up a worthy fight. When I was incarcerated under the Japanese, I was grateful to have entered prison rather than being in the position of a traitor who betrays his own nation. I thought that it would be good if my country could be liberated through my own death rather than my being saved. This is our traditional way of thinking in the Unification Church. I came to understand the Korean people's misery, how badly they were treated through being imprisoned in Japan. It was all training for me. Through walking with my companions along the course of suffering, torture, and shedding tears in prison, I could finally understood Korea's miserable situation. While I was incarcerated, I felt a sense of duty. Someone must liberate the people. Prison became a great teacher for me. My time in jail was a time to set a cornerstone in the providence of restoration that no one can destroy. Before being tortured, you should shed blood first. This will help protect you from dying. When someone tortures you, he will trample on some part of you, your belly, or that area of your body. In order to bear that, you have to give yourself an enema in advance, getting it all out first. You must create an outlet to allow the blood to flow. You could bite your lips or the flat of your tongue. If you bleed beforehand, the torture won't destroy you. It won't be as explosive. It won't tear you apart. God is surely the King of wisdom. I saved many people by teaching them this. People like me do not follow a comfortable path. We do not go the easy way. Even though I faced death many times, I have always overcome it. I have crossed over the point of death several times. Even so, I risked my life because of my sense of responsibility toward my comrades and my faith in them. So in prison, I fought alone. I didn't speak even when prison officials threatened to kill me. Once I decided to say nothing, I said nothing. When the lives of 100 people depended on me, how could I speak? I would rather have cut out my tongue. I didn't tell them anything. I decided that I wouldn't speak. Beat me. Even though you beat me, it's my responsibility to win over you. Even though they went through all 4 legs of a desk, breaking each one into pieces from the force of the blows they administered, and making my body turn black all over from the bruising, I didn't talk. I didn't talk even when I was beaten with wooden poles. A man must remain loyal. Once a man has made a promise, he must keep it even though it may destroy him. When a day of torture passes like this, the day remains as a sorrowful one, but at the same time unforgettable. I still remember the name of the man who tortured me in Tokyo, even now. No matter how much he tortured me, I did not give him any information. I said, I will not talk, and that was the end of it. Try it for 365 days, if you like. Even if I was unconscious and just woke up a few times, I would say, what's going on? Let's sleep a little more. I would say such things and make jokes. I want to sleep a little more. Why are you guys waking me up? In this way, even though they were inflicting torture on me, they became my friends. Whoever tortured me, I said, that doesn't hurt. Do it like that. Do it that way. That's all I said. They had not one bit of satisfaction. If they could have just gotten one word out of me, you may make some official statement, but once I am on the stand, I will not keep silent. That's what I said. If I am a real man, I must do as my heart dictates. I am that kind of man. I would have been an excellent investigator. When Japan ruled Korea in front of those smart prosecutors and judges, I acted as if I was stupid. And I succeeded in fooling them. When they were recording my case, I acted as if I were very dull. They said, how can a person like him be the one with all that responsibility? He's like a kindergarten pupil. So everything worked out. They were unable to dig up the most important information. They fabricated a report and made it official. That was my strategy. Sometimes one has to do such things. After March 1919 independence uprising, Japan replaced its Governor General of Korea with Baron Saito Makoto, who quietly initiated a great upsurge in police presence, better intelligence gathering, and stricter control of the independence movement. Simultaneously, he conspicuously built more schools, allowed a great increase in civic groups, and relaxed restrictions on non-threatening activities, such as Korean language newspapers. Pictured are some members of the Korean Language Society formed as a result of that policy in December 1921. The society published a journal, assisted needy scholars, and produced a dictionary. Policies later changed, however. In late 1942, dozens of Korean Language Society members were arrested. Among them, lexicographer Lee Yu-jae, top right, and journalist Han Jin, bottom right, died in prison before Korea's liberation in 1945. 45. And that's them there. During a 40-year period, Japan tried to rid Korea of all her cultural traditions, even her language. I was imprisoned by the Japanese during that time. The government also imprisoned and impressed many other Koreans. To be called by God, you had to become a patriot, a devoted son or daughter, and a citizen devoted to society. Patriots are people who have resolved to offer themselves to the nation. Such people are needed for God's providence. When God establishes the foundation for the providence and expands it, Satan always opposes him. Thus, as a young man, I prepared myself for the public life to come. From the 1920s onward, God was already prepared. That is when I was born. I have struggled to resolve life's hitherto unsolved problems, to reveal the heavenly way, and to deal with all the problems related to religion and to love. I worked in this way until the time of Korea's liberation. How old was I at that time? I was 26 then. I couldn't say anything about the principle you are now studying. This was partly because God had told me not to, and partly because I had promised God that I would begin my work immediately after Korea was liberated. One person alone cannot accomplish God's will. There have to be partners to work with. Even though they may lock me up in prison, they can't do the same to my mind or my philosophy. Hit me. If you beat me, you are striking the foundation God laid for me and the course I have walked along the road God has paved. Let's see how strong my heart is when it comes to loving my enemies. Hit me. If you want to hit me, do you think I will hate you? I've been severely beaten, vomiting blood. I was beaten in place of the human race with its bitterness accumulated through history. They would whip me, and then I would forget it. How wonderful it is for someone to go through such a thing and be able to say, God, please forgive them. We should go through that. To do so, we have to practice self-abnegation. That is, become simple. In the days when Korea was under Japanese control, there was a man named Kumahata, a name I've never forgotten. Though we were taught to love our enemies, I would have kicked him without hesitation when he was stamping on me and hitting me. Then I thought, hey, you, fine, do as you want. I will endure this even though it may push me to the point of death. I didn't treat him as my enemy, since it was my responsibility to pray for blessings for others. I looked for something in them that could make them worthy to receive blessing. In my prison cell, that was what I studied. Since men have a conscience, in the morning when everyone else had gone out, the torturers would apologize. That is a human quality. When we see that, we can see that people everywhere are the same. They can't deceive their consciences. They gathered the little money they had and sent me abroad to study, but I ended up in jail there. My mother came to the prison and wept. She might have said, if you had thought of your mother, you would not have gotten involved in that kind of movement. But she never said anything. I had not done anything wrong. My mother's son. As one born into the Moon family, I never shamed the family name. Centering on traditional and unique philosophy of Korea, they could see that my conscience was clean. Even though I was in prison, I did not want a mother who pitied her son and cried. I needed a mother who would give me advice and encouragement and who would tell me to carry on with hope for tomorrow. It was impiety. There is no greater lack of filial piety. Soon after I returned from Japan, the police summoned me because they were afraid. It wasn't as if I got into fights with them. When my parents came to the police station in tears, I would shout like a thunderbolt descending on them from the clear blue sky. I said, your son is not a petty little boy. The tears in my eyes are to relieve the world's sadness in God's. These tears are not for you. That is what I told my mother about why I was walking this path. When you leave prison, you have to be kind to the people there. When you go through harsh torture for about 6 hours and pass out on the floor, the torturer sympathizes with you. The prejudice at that time was real, but a torturer later wonders what has become of his victims. This explanation can never make sense at all to anyone who just chase after enjoyment. When I was about your age, I was tortured a lot. Nevertheless, I didn't die though I was beaten and my body swelled to bursting through the water torture. I recovered in about 2 weeks. I ate well for 2 weeks and returned to normal. So suffering is not something you want to experience when you are old, but before you have your family. I have been incarcerated many times, but I was not destroyed by it. No one knows that I wept on the banks of the Han River, but I know. There were times when I went high into the mountains near Seoul and wept bitterly. Where will this nation go? Where is she going? Away from the heart of God, the great supervisor of the universe. Before the liberation, I traveled everywhere, starting with Mount Bukgak. I bowed my head and prayed, "O Korea, don't be sorrowful. even though the world may be lost, you won't be. So long as I exist, Korea will not be lost. Our ancestors and God carry much bitter sorrow. Staying in Seoul reminds me of the day I prayed while hiking to Mount Samguk and walking around that area. Have you done that kind of thing? Though the world is unaware, we have to build the road of love. We have to build an altar to love. Though I long to tell you of my serious suffering and prayers offered to God for the world's sake, there is something very heartbreaking about it. So I cannot speak. When I started forging this road, I had already met and seen through all the famous Christian ministers in Korea. I'd already evaluated them. They didn't know about me. From outer appearances, I was nothing but a bachelor and an unkept passerby. But I looked inside them and wrote down what I saw in a report to heaven. After making my report to God, I began my work. I went to the underground churches first, 3 years before the liberation, or from the time I was 22. I began traveling to the underground churches because people had been tainted from bowing to the Japanese emperor. Genuine religious organizations all went underground. Though I was young then, I was well aware of religious organizations doing underground activities and other states of affairs in Korea. This man they call Reverend Moon is a clever person. I am not a fool. I am canny and can see far into the future. Already in my teens, I knew what would happen to Korea. Yesterday, my younger cousin told me what you said about Japan and Germany, that in 1945, Germany would be out of it in April and Japan in August, all happened. He said, I thought a person had to graduate from university to be well informed about the world and see the future. Aren't you? So that's the end of the reading. Thank you and God bless. I'd like to share another praise song. So let's enjoy.
네, 식구님 여러분 마지막
Beloved, this is our last song.
저희들에게
Father
제왕나비처럼
told us
저희들의 꿈을 향해
to pursue our dreams like a monarch butterfly and to advance without stop. And when we do that, it will absolutely be fulfilled. And with that certainty and conviction, this year, let us all, the following year as well, and in the future, forevermore, if we advance together in unity, we will absolutely realize our dream, the fulfillment of Chanalguk.
홀로 걸어가기에 너무 힘들고 두려울 때 두 눈을 감아본다. 날 사랑하는 가족, 날 의지하는 친구, 세상 변해도 변함이 없이 내 곁에 함께하네. 이루어질 그날까지 나아가리라. 불쌍한 세상 홀로 걸어가기에 너무 힘들고 두려울 때 두 눈을 감아본다. 날 사랑하는 가족, 날 의지하는 친구, 세상 변해도 변함이 없이 내 곁에 함께하네. 우리 가는 길 때론 평탄치 않고 막막해 보인다 해도 우리가 걸어가는 길은 하늘이 바라는 길이니 우리도 훗날 제왕나비처럼 언젠가 꿈을 이루리. 부모님 꿈꾸는 세상이 이루어질 그날까지 나아가리라. 이 험한 세상 두렵더라도 부모님께서 가시는 이 길 우리들도 걸어가리. 그것이 자녀된 도리니 우리 가는 길 때론 평탄치 않고 막막해 보인다 해도 우리가 걸어가는 길은 하늘이 바라는 길이니 우리도 훗날 제왕나비처럼 언젠가 꿈을 이루리. 부모님 꿈꾸는 세상이 이루어질 그날까지 우리도 훗날 제왕나비처럼 언젠가 꿈을 이루리. 부모님 꿈꾸는 세상을 이루어드리리라.
식구님 여러분 사랑합니다. 감사합니다.
Beloved members, we love you. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. I know it's Tuesday and we're supposed to have a breakout session, but I've used most of the time. So if anyone wants to make a comment, please do. Yes, Mr. Rai, go ahead.
Thank you, John, again. And I thought today is Santosh, but I think he's in Nepal.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, he phoned me just a few hours before Hundok saying internet's no good, he can't do. So he'll try to fix it for next time. But yeah.
Thanks so much to father's life course. And then I think almost same as Jesus happened for Jesus. So he was betrayed by Judah and captured and put prison and judged. Pilate couldn't find out any wrongdoing, but the people of Israel shouted. Then he was hit 30 times, having a thorn of crown, and carried, I think, then walking towards Golgotha a few times, fell down, and then just I think Jesus, but before dying, he prayed for God, and people don't know what they're doing, and please forgive them. And I was really wonder how people could pick up Jesus' word. Jesus prayed to God, but the amazing thing is this kind of Jesus pass was people thought, many people gather, all disciple, the Mary, I got many people Israel was watching, and happened. That's why people or disciple kept in the Bible testimony. But the father's case was what happened in Japan, like what happened especially in North Korea. Any kind of torture, no one see that different. So father talk about give testimony, then but all of a story just we heard from father. But Jesus' case was his life was so short, but people saw that one of the really dramatically in front of their eyes. He was killed. The many testimony was left in history. That's why I think that is the reason, like our father's cause is incredible. We know, our members know, but the people in, I think, like public or media people, not easy to pick up this point. Maybe it is very difficult, understand deeply. But that is the truth. Father's life is truth. I think truth must be revealed one day. We pray for that. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much. Such a encouraging testimony today, and always we appreciate a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Rai. Yes, Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, morning, everyone. When I started this 7-minute prayer that we're doing until February, I realized that my prayers for True Mother were not correct. And through a process of several weeks, Heavenly Parent has shown me, impressed in me, I've always felt that Mother being imprisoned was much bigger than we could realize. Very hard to understand what's going on. So out of our kind heart, we want to pray, please get Mother out of prison immediately. But I realize that prayer is not correct. Actually, now I pray that she can have the strength to endure whatever's necessary, not to relieve her of her sacrifice. And I'll go through the process that came to me. The person that sacrifices themselves is always the last to benefit, not the first. So she has a course to go through, and when you listen to Mother's words, that's what she's saying. Don't worry about me. Time will pass and truth will come out. And the recent events in the news, I realised that some of the depth and gravity, like the liberation of Iran, whether you agree politically or not, the chance of the Venezuelan people, China's now in turmoil also. So I believe those things are happening because Mother's been imprisoned. I believe that's what her course is doing. So if I don't want to pray that course finishes prematurely. Now, please, often in the morning when I speak, people misunderstand what I'm saying. If she can be released tomorrow, that's fantastic. But I'm sure that she would want prayers to give her the strength to completely fulfill whatever cause this imprisonment is. And I firmly believe that what's happening in the world, Mother can't liberate these nations, but she's given the people a chance to change, to take these opportunities. Cuba next, whether you agree with Donald Trump or not, what his motivations are, don't matter. The people will be given a chance to be rid of these oppression. And I believe that's because of two mothers' imprisonment. So anyway, I think when you look at what was said today, Father said to his mother, don't ask me to get out of here. Just give me the strength to get through this course. And I think God is asking me to inform people to pray like that. Let's strengthen Mother to endure whatever comes, and of course keep her healthy and well and come out the other end a world level renowned figure that can change the world. Anyway, thank you.
Very true. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, it's time now to offer our unison prayer, so I'll just bring up that screen. Thank you. So let's pray together. Jew, Jew. Thank you, everyone. I hope everyone has a great day and see you all again tomorrow. And yeah, bye-bye.